Welcome. This podcast is a series of candid conversations exploring the human experience from a completely new perspective. In it, we will be diving deeply into the meaning of commonly used words and pointing you away from that old stressful way of looking at life and towards a new paradigm. This will help you find a sense of calm, cultivate meaningful relationships, and create harmony in every aspect of your life. Here is Navigating Life with Ease with Michaela, Ellis and Clare Downham.
Hello.
Hey, Claire.
How are you?
How are you? Good.
I'm good. We should decide who's going to ask that first, shouldn't we?
I know, right? Yeah, because I try to wait.
Yeah. And I know I
sorry.
do. And then sometimes you sit in silence for ages and nobody says anything. Anyway, you're going to say something now because I've got a word for you. Well, I've actually got two.
Ooh, okay.
Pair.
Rule breaker you.
Pair like fish and chips do in Yorkshire.
Okay.
And it's comfort zone.
Doesn't it just feel wonderful? I just saw my couch, my electric blanket on a cold night, and I know that's not what we're talking about here, but yeah. We all kind of have that comfort zone, don't we? Some place that we have just become so repetitive. We're just in such a pattern about it. We don't even think about it. And it's just our sort of, I almost said natural state, but actually that's maybe sometimes, of course, it could be natural, and other times it would be a conditioned zone of comfort, maybe more of safety. Oh, interesting. I just really see that when we talk about a comfort zone, it's really a safety zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you know what? If one is truly being themselves, I kind of see that we can have a comfort zone when we're totally not being ourselves, all the way to being totally ourselves. It's like what does feel comfortable in the moment. Pardon me. And that, I guess, really the way to tell whether the comfort zone is a support, and it's okay, it's a wonderful place to be, your natural state, you're following your true nature. I guess a way to really tell whether that's happening is there something that you really would like to do, but you're avoiding it because you're afraid? You're avoiding it because you don't, it's taking you into unknown territory. And it's like, gives you the heebie-jeebies, the jitters, I don't want to go there because what if this happens or what if that happens? So I can see pros and cons for it, interestingly. When you're truly being yourself, it's like, excellent, because then you're just following your inner guidance. You're just, your comfort zone is like making movements, taking action on things that could be totally unknown to you. How to do it, what the outcome might be. That's typically not our comfort zone. But I've kind of experienced something recently because someone, Claire, you, have helped me to kind of move past something. And this is in, I have an email community. I wasn't emailing them. I wasn't sharing my message. I had all of these, things that I didn't even know at the time. But what I've been doing with you around just really being me and then having help in using my words to that I can share this. It's like really helped me to, I would say, step out of my comfort zone. But the comfort zone that was a month ago is no longer. I am in a new comfort zone. So I see that we create a new zone of comfort for ourselves all the time when we just allow ourselves to expand and not let our stinky thinking stop us from things that are really coming up from within us to do, to take action on, to say, to like test out. Or, I like to do new, like physical activity stuff, like, let's climb up that mountain there, or let's do this hike or whatever. Like those things, it could be like, I don't know where it's going exactly, but I can do it. I can test it out. I can go as far as I can and then see, because I know that I can go from here to there. And then once I'm there, I'll know in the moment what's next. That could have been a little tangential again, but that's, let me just stop there and just see tell me about comfort zone and where this is coming from and what you see about it.
There was so much in what you said. Like towards the end, there was something there about as we take action that may feel a little uncomfortable, because predictably it will if you're butting up against this comfort zone. I mean, when we talk about comfort zone, it sounds like there's something actually there, but of course there isn't. It's just our stinking thinking. Like I've started to say that the inner critic is like the gatekeeper of the comfort zone, because that's the voice, isn't it? As we go closer to that edge of where we were, I almost, it's like the edge of where we were accepted as children, like our parents created, our parents and carers, the people around us growing up, they've created the comfort zone because it was okay to do that, but not okay to do that, and it wasn't okay to do this thing. So now there's this thing where it's so important to us as children to stay safe and to stay in good stead with our parents and carers. I think because if we don't stay in good stead, we're so vulnerable that we're doomed, aren't we? Like, I feel like that's like an innate driver, stay in good stead with those people. So the comfort zone is created it is a safety zone. It is just to keep us safe. And when we get close to the edge, the inner critic sort of says, oh no, you'll look stupid and you'll get criticized for that, and people will judge you, and don't dare say that kind of thing. And so then we don't follow those intuitive nudges quite often, because there's this awful feeling that comes up because our mind is going, no, don't do that. That's not safe. It's not safe. So the feeling is fear, isn't it? We probably call it lots of other things. But it is either fear or love. I think it was Marianne Williamson who once said that you're either living in fear or you're living in love. There's not really anything in between. You're in one or the other, really. So I think but like you're noticing, as you take action, kind of step through it, it moves, because suddenly you're a different person now, because something has fallen away. You've seen something different that's allowed you to then do that thing. And I think for me, the only place where it's kind of connected to us more intuitively, like you were saying right at the beginning, could it be that the comfort zone is part of our kind of inner knowing, our true self sometimes? Well, I'd say only if it's around physical safety. Everything to do with keeping the self safe is the same thinking that's creating the comfort zone, isn't it? There is no self. There is just a collection of thoughts. And that's why it's so cool to see how it can just quickly fall away, because it's just a flipping illusion anyway. It's not even anything real. It's just our stinking thinking in that moment that goes, no, push back, don't do that kind of thing. But I really see, because obviously I talk to people a lot about their inner critic, that the inner critic is literally like there shaking the keys, going, You think you're coming through here, do you? No, because I'm going to shout rude things at you the minute you try to come through here. So you won't want to do that. You'll kind of run back into the, like you say, to the nice, safe, comfy sofa with the blanket and heating. Well, they're not here at the moment because we've had some very, very hot weather this week. So, yeah, novel, I know. We've all been very excited, although it's going to go from, it was 25 yesterday, 18 today. It's going to be 9 on Sunday. So, we like to hit every season in the 1 week in this country, as you know. So, but, it is getting, the jangly keys of the inner critic sort of pushing us, just pushing us back onto that and keeping us. And it's, I mean, like you said, it's like this fluid moving thing. It's thought in the moment, isn't it? And that's why we can see ourselves absolutely cannot do something. And then we go, right, the next week I can do it. Well, or 5 minutes later I can do it. Like that. How does that happen? It's so cool to see how that can change. It's so fluid and so changing all the time. There's nothing solid about it, but it can become, you hear about people whose lives, they become more and more. I worked with a woman once whose life had just got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where she was, I mean, she'd kind of given up. She'd moved from a high-powered job to a smaller job, and then still that wasn't, and so she'd moved down again. She just kept withdrawing and withdrawing and withdrawing, because in her head she believed that everything, it was all the outside world that was the problem. So, and that's the problem, isn't it? It's that outside in misunderstanding that means that we believe that, oh, well, we won't suffer if we just don't do that thing, or we avoid that thing. And that people's worlds can literally get to the point where they're not able to leave the house anymore. And we just have my phone. My phone never makes a noise. That'll be my mother. Because she's got she can get through my block in case of an emergency. It won't be an emergency, but anyway. So sorry, listeners, if you hear that little sound.
Ding! Yeah,
it is mostly on silent. Yeah, so that it's crazy to see when you go to do something that you really couldn't have. I often talk about live video because I couldn't do live video, and then I did start doing live video, and then I can do it it's not a thing now. It doesn't ever cause any emotional anything, in my thinking. So it's amazing when you see those changes happen.
Yeah. I was one of those whose world was very big and then it kept shrinking. And the more shrunk it got, the harder it was to expand again. And yeah, it was all freaking thought, made so much meaning about all of the things, and even making meaning of the shrinking. And then that became a shameful thing. And then it was like, oh, my world became so small that I didn't really have anything to talk about with people. So I avoided people because it's like, I got nothing to talk about. There's nothing really happening in my world. And there was, but I would compare it to what it was before. Anyways, and it's expanding out again. But yeah, you know what? I wanted to just go to the temperature because you were talking about that you had, from this, warmth to this medium to this cold all in 1 week. And it's just like, what is your comfort zone there? What is the meaning we make about? I mean, it's a very simple thing that we can see, because a month ago or a month and a half ago in the middle of winter, it's like, this would have been like balmy, like what, hot, sweaty. And now, so we do like just acknowledging that, yeah, I got some thinking about this, and it doesn't mean anything, but whatever meaning I make about it, that's what I'm going to feel. That's what I'm going to experience. And sometimes it can be tricky to get that, like the things that you've, helping me, like I thought, sending an email out to my email community was just like, feeding these like evil people that were going to come and like suck my lifeblood out of me and stuff. It was just so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous, but I didn't know that was there. And it's like, once I kind of shone a light on that, once I kind of saw that, it's just like, oh, my comfort zone changed radically, because I saw some things that were messing with my experience, were playing with my mind. And it's like, okay, well, I'm on to you now. I've seen it. And now I can make a choice. It's like, that's not what's happening, because I just attract amazing, wonderful people into my world. No zombies. Yeah. But it's funny. It truly is just the level of your thinking, or the work, the things that you're thinking or believing in the moment, that dictates your comfort zone. That's it.
Totally.
That's freaking all. Oh my gosh. Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah. And what you were just saying then about the zombies, like that it can be such an eclectic collection of thinking that can make you withdraw from something or not do something, isn't it? It's sometimes so like subtle. It can sound like it's almost being helpful, like it can. I remember that, because we have to do our tax year finishes on the 6th of April, and and then we get till the 31st of January to do our tax returns, and I'm generally the week between Christmas and New Year. That's when I usually do my tax return. And I was like, this year I'm blooming doing it in April. I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. And I've been keeping up to date with my bookkeeping every month, and I'm on top of it all. And right, I'm going to blooming do the tax. Anyway, I came down that morning, the morning I was going to do it, and I could hear this voice going, oh, there's loads of other things you could do today. Why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? And why, you've got loads of content to make, and you could make a course content timer, and blah, 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 blah. And it's all going on like this. And I went, I know what's going on here. I'm not going to die if I do. It's like it thinks I'm going to die if I do my tax return. God knows what the resistance is there. I think it's some kind of admin dread or something. I don't know. It was just like, and that voice sounded really, the voice that was trying to persuade me away from doing that thing. It can sound really like, oh, it can sound really nice, can't it? Don't do that. We'll do this instead. It's nicer. And that's when we can look, procrastinating, or you're not doing the things that really would move us forward in our life or a business or whatever, and it is still keeping us in that little safe space of doing things that, sometimes it's just doing something that's familiar, isn't it? Like that morning, it was like, oh, you've got this little routine now with your content. Why don't you just get on with that? Don't be tax return, that can wait, But it was I felt such a lot of creativity and lightness since doing it, because generally, otherwise, the rest of the year, it's just like tapping him on my shoulder every 5 seconds, going, "You start doing tax returns." And that could go on for like till blinking December. What's the point? Now I just keep going, oh, I've done my tax return already. So excited. but now it's not something that'll keep. But it can, like the inner critic, I think, can sound really like. It can sound nice and supportive, and but it's just this, it's like, like when a toddler really wants something, and they'll start off maybe like, oh, mummy, little cutesy voice, and then please, please. Jack, my son, he used to like sit on my knee and go, "Mummy, I love you," and he'd wrap his arms around my neck and stuff. Yeah, what do you actually want though? Because I know you want something. So what are you doing? And then do that, and then we'll go to, like pleading and get louder and louder, and eventually be shouting and screaming. And I think like the inner critical voice has got all that range of ways to come in to try and keep us inside this little safe space. It'll try lots of different voices, won't it? In the same way that a toddler would if they want something.
Yeah.
Want something from you. So yeah, you've got to watch out for it.
That's right. It's very sneaky.
Trying to derail you.
It can be quite persuasive. But once you catch on to it,
Yeah.
well, then you have a choice. Then sometimes it's a choice. It's like, I know but I'm going to do it. And sometimes we make the choice to listen to it. And that doesn't feel so good. Doesn't feel so good. Like isn't it amazing how much how much energy and time it sucks up? If you hadn't have done your taxes, you couldn't just stick it on the shelf and it's like, I can do it next November. You like keep thinking about it. I mean, how wonderful you get to have a celebration every time that you think about it and remember that I did it. I'm done. Yeah.
Definitely.
Interesting that it still comes up too.
I think as well, it's almost like, you talk about being you and I talk about, inner knowing and there's something about that will just keep that sort of alignment. It'll just keep coming back up again. It will. That's the flow that we want to, like, it's almost like there's this river flowing all the time underneath. And then there's all our silly thinking. Maybe that's all bits of stuff floating in the river or whatever. But it's like we can always just fall into that flow, like a leaf, just like flowing down the river. We can always just drop back into that. And I think that's something I really, when it comes to like maybe creating content and stuff, that seeing that you've got like this core journey that you're on, that you really want to be on. And if you notice, and that's going to take us sometimes beyond. Sometimes it's going to feel okay. I'm in my little groove now. I've got my message, and then I actually want to say something a bit more out there. And so to stay on that flow, you're going up against the comfort zone again, and it's going to be up and down. You're going to, like, that flow is going to be sometimes, I'm plodding along and it's all great, and then no, I really want to expand here, and then we've got to kind of go through the comfort zone. But this underlying, like for me, my underlying message, I know for you as well, like there's something we want to share with the world, and if we go towards the truth of that, we are going to predictably butt up against some kind of barrier. I think maybe women experience this more than men, because we've been told to be good girls and not speak up and not be rude and not be, enough times. I was talking to a client today, and he's got a new boss who's a woman, and he said his old boss is like still in the business, but he's being kind of shuffled to the side. And he said he used a word to describe her that he said, and then he said, I probably wouldn't have used that word if she was a man, because of how ruthless, I think it was. Because all she done is she said, look, I don't want you on the floor in this part of the business anymore. You'll have to go work somewhere else, because I'm now in charge. And that's fair enough. I was just like, well, that sounds perfectly reasonable. When I took on my first headship, the old head teacher used to come into school until I said, why are you here? This is not a cafe. If you want to meet with your ex-colleagues, you have to do that in the pub or the cafe, not in my school. It was really bizarre. It was like it was an okay thing to do, but as the new head teacher, I said no. But it's really funny. I think women especially have got this. Sometimes we've got this. Let's be good girls and not say anything, and that's part of this comfort zone thing, isn't it? So when we go to speak up and express our core message or whatever it is, it's not okay. To be bold. Well, it's the words that bullshit. That's one of those words that you probably wouldn't use on a man, on a woman. It's funny, isn't it? Anyway, that feels like a whole other subject to explore.
Yeah, it could be, because I believe that men have their own challenges around it, because they were also taught to, hold it in and don't be a crybaby and, be a big boy and, grow up, whatever kind of messages they got. So that can plague them too. I've seen that. And it's like, we can all just give ourselves an absolute freaking break about it. And it's just
Yeah.
allow us to feel like what really wants to come out and be expressed. What really wants to just, what wants to come out. I already said that. It's just, I'm looking for another way to say it, but it's expression. It really is. And when we catch ourselves, even that, we have a comfort zone with how we express, right? It's like, oh, can't say that, could say this, not saying there, can't say it with your, and it's like you get to learn where the safety zones are. And they're different with different people, different situations, different whatever. But wow, how fabulous when we can actually test out, what if I just was more honest? What if? How would that be? How would that not only open up your comfort zone more, move you into a zone that felt where you felt alive, and how that would also affect others and give them, it's, sort of like, a little invitation to also just be a little more honest and truthful with yourself. Yeah, there's many places we could go, but this sounds good. This is good.
This is good.
Thanks.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, that was really good, Claire. Very good. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're
See
welcome.
you next time.
You betcha. Ciao for now.
Bye.
Hey, thank you for being a part of Navigating Life with Ease. We'd love to hear your feedback and receive a review on your favorite podcast platform. This will help others who'd also like more ease in their life to find us. We're here to support you, so if you've any words you'd like us to explore or you have a question, please reach out to us at navigatinglifewithease@gmail.com. Again, thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes of Navigating Life with Ease.